Welcome to Serpentine Creative. I'm your host, Stella Williams, and today I will be continuing my write process series with alphas and betas. Welcome back to my write process series. Today I'll be talking about alphas and betas. So, what are those, you ask? Well, an alpha reader is basically the first people that take a look at your draft after you. And that's not necessarily going to be your editor just yet. And you can have alpha readers, beta readers at any stage of your writing. I personally like to tackle that whole thing after I do my initial edits on my own, because it's that thing where I have the knowledge of my whole plot line and all of that stuff. So even with my edits, I'm not going to be 100% objective with my story. So after I go through my first edits, I have a small group of people that I send out my second draft to, and they basically give me plot critiques. So any holes that I might not have seen being so close to the story, or things that don't make sense, those are the critiques that I'll get back. And some people, depending on what you ask them to do and what circle you're going to for your alpha or beta readers, they'll give some, line critiques like, hey, this sentence didn't make sense, or um, if you have that one friend that's like a complete, grammar snob, maybe they'll help you out with some of your grammar mistakes. But for me personally, I generally only ask for storyline plot critiques my from my readers, both alpha and beta, because I figure grammar and all of that stuff and line critiques, all of that can come from my own personal editing and whatever editor proofreader I'd pay or hire further along in my development process. Generally, I would say if you're looking for alpha readers, then I would look at local writing groups or some writer friends, people that you trust, not to steal your ideas. I know that sounds really cynical, but it can be an issue. So if you are one of those people that just really want to keep your stuff close until you are ready to start pitching to an agent or ready to initiate your self-publishing process, um, definitely make sure that your alpha and beta readers are from a trusted source. So that's why I say local writing groups, because you're going to be meeting them multiple times. So it's not like, and they're close to your area. So if something does happen, you know exactly who you're going to. It's not just some random person from online or from an online critique group where you just are sending your work out into the ether without any real knowledge of who's getting it. If you do decide to go with an online writing group or contacting people, writers, readers online to see if they would like to beta read, then definitely do your due diligence to mark your work. If you have like a Word document, maybe like disable editing, or make sure that you have embedded your personal information so that if something does happen, you can be like, hey, this is mine. You can find all of my information all over this, sort of thing. Honestly, I'm saying this because it has been a major issue with that's been brought up with the whole copy paste Chris thing, and people's novels being like, even mainstream authors who did everything correctly still got their work stolen. So as a lesser known author, do what you can to the best of your ability to protect your work. But that's not what this video is about. This is about alpha and beta readers. I promise to try and not be off topic. topic about this. Um, so my alpha readers are the very first people other than myself to look at my work. And once I get their critiques, that's usually when I do another round of editing for the critiques that were given by my alpha readers, and then of course running it through whatever other processes I'm going to go through. And when I feel like I'm at another like finishing or stopping point, then I will have my beta readers to go over it. Because even though I've made changes to my story based on what my alpha readers have said, that doesn't mean that I necessarily solved the issue. Because I might feel like I solved the issue, but I might have created more issues or not wrapped it up nicely enough for it to make sense or be cohesive with the storyline. So it's always good to have that second look. And your beta readers can be the same group of people as your alpha readers. So then I guess they would just be your readers. I don't know. Whatever you call them is up to you. Yeah, so then the beta readers, they get the next draft. And usually that is good enough to fill in any remaining plot holes and any other things that are like confusing to the reader, because you, especially if you have two different groups of people looking at it between your alpha and betas, because then you have a whole new set of eyes on it, and so they'll have a fresh perspective. They won't already be biased by your other draft. So that's an argument for maybe having two separate groups um, of readers of alpha or beta. And like I said, for finding readers, like writing groups, close writer friends, family members, possibly, if you can trust them to be 100% honest with you. My sisters are my alpha and beta readers. They have similar taste in books as me. They're avid readers, and they are my older sisters. So they have no problem telling me if I'm doing it wrong. So I'm lucky in that regard. So if you have anyone in your family who is willing to support and has the ability to be completely honest and give constructive criticism, because you also don't want people who are going to be mean, not necessarily mean, but like give you critiques like, oh, I just didn't like it. That's not very helpful. So make sure that the people you're trusting to be readers for your work are going to give you constructive criticism, and also, kind of be a little bit of cheerleaders. Like, I know sometimes I'm not all that thrilled about something that I've written, and so I'm hesitant about putting it out there, and I'll give it to my sisters and my close author friends, and they'll be like, oh, this is great and I love it, and that'll give me more confidence to continue with the process. But if I don't like it and then I give it to them and they're like, what is this, what are you doing, then I know that I need to go back to the drawing board. And at that point, especially with alpha readers, I haven't wasted any of my writing budget on editors. It doesn't cost me anything to go back to the drawing board at that point. And speaking of monetary, yes, there are sites and there are people who provide beta reading services for a fee. And that could be an option for you if you don't have anyone who's willing to do it for free. But in my experience, there's generally a lot of people who are willing to read things for free. It's just finding the ones that will also give you feedback. That's my spiel on alpha and beta readers. If you would like a little bit more detail about it, check out my blog at serpentinecreative.com. Good luck with your writing journey. Next week, I will be talking about editors, the fun stuff. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.